Welcome to Mastering Machines, where we discover tomorrow's reality.
Welcome to Mastering Machines, where we discover tomorrow's reality. Oh, Google Gemini. Oh, Gemini. We have so many things to talk about. Google Gemini has been through its fair share of rough patches. Dealing with the Blue Duck incident where they faked a clip that everybody thought was actual AI, but it really wasn't. It was actually prompts. Then there's just the whole existential crisis that Google's going through right now, as far as a lot of people kind of counting them out and people saying the best years of Google are kind of behind them. But now it seems like they kind of got back on a good foot within the AI world with their new release of Gemini Pro. The main feature and spotlight here is it being the 1.5 million context window that it's alleging Gemini Pro has. Now let's talk about what exactly 1.5 million context window means. So let's first talk about the actual model itself. Gemini 1.5 is a model that's built upon the transformer and mixture of expert architecture. So unlike the traditional transformer architecture, it's a model that consists of smaller expert neural networks instead of just one kind of traditional bigger one. Google's pioneered these techniques, and it's really showing in the quality and efficiency of Gemini 1.5. But let's get back to the context window. The context window has been significantly expanded, now capable of processing up to 1 million tokens. So that's what we mean when it's a 1 million context window. It enables it to handle large amounts of data, such as hours of video or audio, extensive code bases, or even long documents or short form books. Gemini 1.5 Pro can analyze, classify, and summarize vast content, reason about detailed information across various modalities, which means, seeing, hearing, and then solve problems with long blocks of code. In performance evaluation, Gemini 1.5 Pro outperforms its predecessor in most benchmarks and maintains high performance even with increased context window size. For comparison, Gemini 1.0 had 32,000 tokens. Now 1.5 Pro has 1.5 million tokens. In one of the demos for Gemini Pro 1.5, they use this 402-page transcript as a task for it to analyze, and it does it seamlessly. One of the things that was talked a lot about, specifically on Twitter, was the needle in a haystack evaluation. And I wasn't too familiar with it, but it's a really interesting benchmark test where a small piece of text containing a particular fact or statement is purposely placed within a long block of text. And 1.5 Pro found that embedded text 99% of the time in blocks of data as long as 1 million tokens. Even though this release of Gemini Pro 1.5 and showcasing its 1 million token window shows that Google still has a lot in the tank, regardless of all the naysayers and people that have been kind of counting them out as of late, and the absolute existential crisis that Google employees and also managers are facing with the onset of AI and more competitive companies coming into their space. Looking at you, Perplexity. Google's win would be kind of short-lived because, as you can see from these articles right here, a lot of people notice when generating images within Gemini Pro, it seemed that it had a kind of built-in overclocking for political correctness. And obviously that made a lot of users disgusted and really continues a trend that we've seen from Google, and kind of a bad trend that they've really put too much into guardrails and AI safety when creating these models. Don't get me wrong, I think AI safety is really important, but the fact that, all these people can't, create what they want is really against what a lot of the ethos of the AI community is. Somebody made a great analogy of, you don't put guardrails on a keyboard just because people can type bad words. And I think that's a kind of apt analogy for AI models and how they're guardrailed. All of these comments from users and stories from major news outlets kind of force Google's hand to drop a open model that I believe is a 2 billion and 7 billion parameter model. And I know the current sentiment around Google is not the best here. I've said that multiple times on this channel, but you can never count them out. I mean, it's still Google. And I think that a lot of this time period will be Sundar Pichai's legacy within the company. And however this unfolds is how his legacy will be remembered in the Silicon Valley record books. Well, that's it for today. Remember, like, subscribe, Mastering Machines. And remember, discover tomorrow's reality.